All right, so we're diving into Simply Wall Street today.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you sent this over to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at it, and it seems
Mm.
really, really cool and interesting. I love
Yeah.
finding tools that make investing
Mm.
easier for people, especially those who want to make smart choices with their money, but
Yeah.
aren't, financial
Yeah.
experts or
Yeah.
don't want to spend hours and hours like
Exactly. For
researching.
other things to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what I've seen so far, Simply Wall Street,
Yeah.
it seems like it gives you a really good visual snapshot of a company.
Right.
Its strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And it helps you build a portfolio that matches
Mm.
your goals,
Yeah.
which is, I think, something a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought was really cool that you mentioned was the snowflake analysis.
Yeah. So I was looking at that and I thought that was
Yeah.
super interesting, just as a way to visually understand a company rather than looking at pages and pages of financial statements.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that you're really time constrained.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about this is you can just get a quick glance and know a lot about the company right away.
Exactly. Yeah.
No need to dig through spreadsheets.
It seems like they cover a ton of companies too.
Yeah, over 150,000 globally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. So you're not limited to just the U.S.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it really seems like they're trying to make investing accessible to everyone.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially
Especially with so much more interest now in personal finance.
Exactly.
Yeah, and building wealth and stuff.
Yeah, and the YouTube video you shared,
Yeah.
it talked about two different approaches to investing, and I think both of them could benefit from a tool like this.
Yeah.
The first one they mentioned is that set it and forget it method,
Right.
which is often done with an S&P 500 index fund. And that's basically a basket of 500 of the biggest U.S. companies. So it's considered a safer, more passive way to invest.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A lot of people do that, and I think it's a good approach.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to match the market. But for people who maybe are looking for a bit more, excitement or a bit more,
return.
Right. Then individual stocks might be more interesting.
Yeah.
So what was the second approach?
Yeah. So the second approach is all about picking your individual stocks yourself.
Okay.
It definitely has the potential to outperform the market.
Right.
But it requires a lot more research and careful consideration.
Sure.
Which can be really intimidating for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Who aren't, finance
a
professionals.
Totally.
And so this is where this tool can really help you.
Right. Yeah, especially with that snowflake analysis. I'm really curious about that. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah. So picture this. You've got a snowflake.
Okay.
And it has 5 points.
Okay.
Each representing a different area of a company's performance. So you've got dividends value, future prospects, past performance, and then financial health.
So just by looking at the shape of the snowflake, you can get an idea of how the company's doing.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And they use Tesla as an example in the video. And you could see Tesla's strengths immediately, like strong past performance, great future potential. Those points on the snowflake are nice and long.
Right.
But then there's this one point that's sticking way out, overvaluation.
Oh.
And I think what's great about Simply Wall Street is it doesn't just tell you that it's overvalued. It gives you that visual cue.
Right,
hey, this stock might be priced higher than it's actually worth.
And is there any more information on that?
Yeah.
Does it tell you why?
Yeah, so that's what's great about it is you can click on each point of the snowflake and actually get the metrics and the reasons behind it.
Okay.
So it'll break down, why they believe it has good future prospects based on projected earnings, growth market trends, all that stuff.
So it encourages you to dig a little deeper.
Exactly.
And understand why they're saying that.
Exactly. And they actually compare Tesla's snowflake to Ford.
Okay.
And it's a really stark contrast.
Yeah.
Ford's snowflake highlights a history of paying dividends.
Right.
And it's relatively stable value. Especially compared to Tesla.
Right. So if someone's looking for maybe a more stable investment, then they can see that Ford's probably going to be more appealing.
Yeah.
Based on that.
And it's all visual.
That's really cool.
You don't have to read through all this data.
And it shows you the key differences really quickly.
And one thing I thought was interesting too is it's dynamic.
Oh.
So as the companies release new earnings reports or market conditions change,
Right.
the snowflake updates.
Oh, wow.
So you're getting a constantly evolving picture of what's going on.
That's pretty crucial, especially in today's market.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are moving so fast.
Exactly.
So you need to be on top of it.
Exactly.
Now, the review also talked about how they can help you, like, build a portfolio. I'm curious to learn more about that.
Yeah, so you can create watch lists of companies that you want to keep an eye on. And you can actually build portfolios within the platform.
Okay.
But here's the really interesting part.
Yeah.
They generate a snowflake for your entire portfolio.
Wait, so rather than just looking at each individual stock, you can see how your portfolio as a whole is doing.
Exactly. And you can see the strengths and weaknesses of your entire investment mix.
That's a cool concept.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can tinker with it. You can add or remove stocks and see how those changes impact your overall portfolio snowflake. Like maybe right now you're heavy on tech stocks.
Right.
And so your future potential is really strong.
Yeah.
But maybe your value point is lacking. And so you can visually see that and be like, maybe I need to diversify a little bit.
That's super helpful.
It is.
Yeah, instead of just looking at a bunch of numbers, you can actually see if you're heading in the right direction or not.
Yeah, and they actually walk you through how to use the portfolio snowflake to align it with your specific goals.
Right.
So if you're aiming for aggressive growth, you might want a snowflake that's really strong on future potential.
Right.
But if you're closer to retirement and you're looking for more stable income, you might want a strong dividend point.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it shows you that it's not just about picking stocks.
Exactly.
It's about having a whole strategy in place.
And they don't just stop there.
Oh.
They actually track your portfolio's performance over time.
Oh, wow.
And they provide curated news related to the stocks you own.
Oh, that's really cool.
So you're not just making decisions in a vacuum.
Right.
You're constantly getting updates.
Staying informed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's huge. Because otherwise you're just kind of like shooting in the dark.
Exactly.
You need to know what's happening.
Yeah. So
this is really valuable.
It is.
This platform, it seems like it's really going above and beyond.
Yeah, it's not just providing data. It's making it actionable.
Yeah, and relevant to you.
Exactly. So it's like having a personalized dashboard, you know, to keep track of everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on staying informed and adapting to change? Like, how important is that?
I think that's huge. And I know you've got a lot of experience in this area.
Well, you know, the markets are always changing.
Right.
And
you can't just like set it and forget it.
You can't just like pick something and then never look at it again.
Yeah.
Because things are happening every day.
Exactly.
You know, news events, company performance, economic trends, all of those things are going to impact your investments.
So you need to be actively monitoring your portfolio.
You need to be paying attention.
Yeah.
And making adjustments as needed.
And simply, Wall Street seems to really facilitate that.
Yeah.
You know,
it gives you the tools.
Yeah.
And it makes it easy.
Exactly.
To do that.
Yeah. So I think they're really trying to bridge that gap between passive and active investing.
Right. It's finding that balance that works for you.
Right.
Because even if you're more hands-off, having that data and those insights can help you make better choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about feeling confident and knowledgeable in your decisions.
Absolutely. And that's invaluable in the world of investing.
Yeah.
To feel confident.
Because it can be scary.
Absolutely.
Especially if you don't know what you're doing.
For sure.
And speaking of feeling confident, this is where Simply Wall Street takes things a step further. With their portfolio analysis tools. So remember how we were talking about getting a snowflake for your whole portfolio?
Yeah.
They actually go even deeper.
Okay.
They help you understand how your portfolio aligns with your risk tolerance.
So it's not just about what stocks you own, but it's about how much risk you're comfortable with.
Exactly. And that's something that a lot of people overlook.
I think so.
And Simply Wall Street actually has this risk assessment tool that will tell you if your portfolio matches your risk profile. So you might think you're a conservative investor, but your portfolio is actually full of like high growth, high risk stocks.
Yeah.
And the tool will show you that.
Oh, that's great.
And help you make adjustments if you need to.
That's like a mirror reflecting back to you.
I love that.
Whether your investments actually match how you feel.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it ties back into what we were saying earlier about feeling confident and knowledgeable in your decisions.
Right.
Because if you're comfortable with the level of risk you're taking.
Yeah, you're not going to panic
Yeah.
when the market drops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about having a plan and sticking to it.
Right.
Even when things get a little bumpy.
Absolutely.
And simply Wall Street gives you the tools and the insight to create that plan.
Right. And I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
Is to help people make more informed and rational decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know that people get emotional about money.
Yeah.
And that can lead to bad decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're trying to take that out of it.
Yeah, take the fear and the guesswork out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about diversification.
Okay.
You've probably heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
That applies to investing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Diversification is so important.
It is.
It's one of the most basic principles of investing.
Yeah, and Simply Wall Street actually provides tools
Okay.
to help you visualize and analyze your portfolio's diversification.
Okay.
So you can see how much of your money is invested in different sectors, countries, and asset types.
That's great because, sometimes you can
Yes.
unintentionally put too much in one area.
Yes.
And you don't even realize it.
Exactly.
So that's great that they give you that.
Yeah. And if you love tech stocks.
Right.
And you have a huge chunk of your portfolio in tech stocks.
Yeah.
And then tech takes a downturn.
Yeah.
Then you're in trouble.
In trouble, yeah. Oh, yeah. But if you diversify.
You're spreading that risk.
Yeah, it's like a safety net for your investments.
Yeah. I like that analogy.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk about responsible investing.
Okay.
Simply, Wall Street integrates ESG ratings.
Right. Yeah, that's a big one these days.
It is.
It's important for a lot of people.
Yeah. And you can see how the companies rank on things like environmental sustainability, social impact, ethical business practices.
It's a good way to feel good about where your money is.
It is. It's putting your money where your mouth is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's becoming increasingly clear
It is.
that these factors can impact a company's long-term performance.
Right. Companies that are sustainable and ethical tend to do better.
Yes.
In the long run.
So it's not just about doing good, it's about doing
exactly.
Well, financially.
Yeah, you can do both.
Which is great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I wanted to mention was their community features.
Right.
So they have this forum where users can connect with each other and share insights and ask questions.
Oh, that's a nice feature.
It is. It's like having a network of financial mentors.
Yeah. And especially
right at your fingertips.
For new investors.
Yes.
Who maybe don't have anyone to ask.
Exactly. That's a great resource.
Yeah. It's all about building a community of support.
Right.
And knowledge sharing.
Yeah. It makes it less intimidating.
It does.
And more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
overall, what are your final thoughts on Simply Wall Street?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's a great tool for anyone who wants to make the investing process simpler and make more informed decisions.
Right.
And build a portfolio that aligns with their
values.
Goals and values.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they offer a free trial.
Oh, that's great.
Which is amazing. You can test it out. See if you like it.
Exactly.
Before you commit.
Yep. And I think people will be surprised.
Yeah.
By how easy it is to use.
Yeah, it seems really user-friendly.
And how valuable it is.
Yeah, for sure. I'm intrigued. I might have to check it out myself.
You should. Yeah. I think you'd really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. I might discover some hidden gems out there.
And that's what's fun about investing is.
Yeah, the possibilities.
Yeah, there's always something new to discover.
Exactly.
So now let's turn it over to you, our listener.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Simply Wall Street?
What do you think?
Would you consider using it?
Would you use a tool like this?
Yeah.
To help you invest?
What features stand out to you?
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
What do you think?
Head over to our website.
Yeah.
Or social media pages.
And let us know.
And let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
We would love to continue this conversation. We would.
And explore how technology can help empower all of us.
Yeah.
To become more confident and successful investors.
Absolutely.
So
keep exploring, keep learning.
Yes.
Keep diving deep.
And thanks for joining us. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds too good to be true.
Right.
And you're right to be a bit skeptical. No single tool is going to magically make you a stock market wizard.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to remember that Simply Wall Street, it's just a tool. You just have to do your own research.
Right.
And you have to use your own judgment.
Exactly.
And make sure your investment decisions are aligned with your goals.
It's like having a fancy new oven.
Yeah.
It can help you bake a delicious cake.
Right.
But you still got to know the recipe.
Yeah, you still have to know how to use it.
And how to use the oven.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So are there any downsides or limitations to using a platform like this?
That's a good question. I think one potential downside is that
you're relying on their algorithms and data analysis. And while they try to be as accurate and objective as possible, there's always a chance of errors or biases creeping in.
You have to remember that they're interpreting data and presenting it in a particular way. You're not necessarily getting the absolute truth.
Right. And no algorithm can predict the future of the stock market.
And that's where your research comes in. You can't just blindly follow the recommendations.
You got to do your own due diligence and make sure that it makes sense to you.
Exactly. So let's talk about user experience.
Okay.
They mention in the review that it's available as both a website and a mobile app.
Right.
How important do you think accessibility and ease of use is?
Crucial, especially for busy people.
Right.
Like me.
Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are always on the go.
Yeah. I need to be able to do it from anywhere.
Exactly. It's like having a financial advisor
right
in your pocket.
In your pocket, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's talk about some of their specific features.
Right.
Their portfolio tracking and analysis tools are really...
Yeah, portfolio tracking is so important for any investor.
Why is that?
Well, because you need to know how your investments are doing. You need to be able to identify trends and make adjustments.
Yeah, it's like having a personal trainer for your finances.
I like that.
Right. You're not just working out blindly.
Right. You're tracking your progress.
Right.
You're measuring results.
Exactly.
You're making adjustments.
And Simply Wall Street does that for you.
It gives you all those tools.
Yeah.
Performance charts, asset allocation breakdowns, all of that.
It's not just numbers. It's insights.
Actionable insights. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And speaking of goals, one of the things I love about Simply Wall Street is that they emphasize goal-based investing.
Right.
Why is that so important?
I think it's really important to have a vision for what you want to do with your money.
Right.
And then have a plan to get there.
It's like setting out on a road trip.
Yeah.
You got to have a destination in mind.
Right. You got to know where you're going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just driving around aimlessly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know you're passionate about responsible investing.
Yes. ESG is very important to me.
Yeah. And Simply Wall Street integrates that into their platform.
Yeah.
So why is that so important to you?
Well, I think it's important to align your investments with your values.
Right.
We all want to make money.
Yeah.
But we also want to
make a difference.
Make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly.
So if you can do both, why not?
Right.
And they make it easy to do that. They do with their ratings.
Yeah.
And,
And it's becoming more and more clear that ESG factors can actually positively impact a company's performance.
Companies that are sustainable and ethical and well-governed tend to do better.
So it's not just about doing good. It's about doing well.
You can do both.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what about the learning resources and support that they offer?
I think those are really important.
The reviewer had mentioned that they have a blog, educational articles, and a community forum.
The community forum is great because you can connect with other investors and learn from each other.
It's like having a network of mentors there.
Yeah, and especially for newer investors.
Yeah.
That can be really helpful to
Yeah.
have that support.
Yeah, because investing can be intimidating.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about cost. Okay.
Simply Wall Street is subscription-based.
It is.
And they offer different pricing tiers.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on their value proposition?
Well, I think it offers a lot of value.
Yeah.
Especially for people who are serious about investing.
So it's not for casual investors.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if you're just looking to pick a few stocks, there are cheaper options out there.
Yeah.
But if you're really looking to build a portfolio and you want all those tools and resources, then it's worth it.
And their pricing is transparent.
It is. They lay it all out.
Yeah.
So you can choose what works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are there any other downsides or limitations?
Well, I think one concern that people might have is the reliance on algorithms and automated analysis.
Yeah. I mean, these algorithms can be really powerful.
They can be, but they're not perfect.
You can't forget that.
Right. There's a human element involved.
Absolutely.
Right.
You can't just blindly follow the recommendations of an algorithm.
So you need to understand the context and the nuances
of the market.
Yeah. And so what about diversification?
Diversification is key to investing.
Simply Wall Street focuses mainly on individual stocks.
They do.
How important is it to diversify and invest?
Very important.
In different asset classes.
It's one of the most important things you can do as an investor.
Yeah, so Simply Wall Street is just one piece of the puzzle.
It is. You shouldn't rely on it solely to build a portfolio.
Right.
You need to consider other asset classes.
Yeah.
And you might want to even talk to a financial advisor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what about the user experience?
Okay.
They have a user-friendly interface.
They do.
But it could still be a little overwhelming.
It could be.
For some people who are new.
For new investors,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of jargon
and
terminology that they might not be familiar with.
Exactly.
So there is a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, it's pretty easy to use.
And once you learn it, it's a really valuable tool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the potential benefits.
Okay.
One of the biggest benefits, I think, is that it can save you a lot of time.
It can.
And effort when you're researching investments.
Yeah, time is precious.
It is.
And you don't want to be spending all your time researching stocks.
You've got other things to do.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to enjoy your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Simply Wall Street makes it easy.
It does.
They gather all this data for you.
He presents it in a very easy to understand way.
It's like having a research assistant right there.
Right at your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then what about increased confidence in your investment decisions?
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
Because the more you know about an investment, the more confident you're going to feel.
Exactly.
And that's what Simply Wall Street does.
It does.
It gives you all that information so you can make
We're not just going with your gut.
An informed decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing your research.
Right.
And then another benefit could be improved portfolio performance.
Right. And while past performance is not indicative of future results, there is some evidence to suggest that people who use data-driven tools tend to do better.
Because you're taking the emotion out of it.
Yeah, you're making more rational decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then finally, what about increased engagement with your investments?
Yeah, I think that's a big one too.
Yeah.
Because Simply Wall Street makes it
does.
More accessible.
Yeah.
And more fun.
Yeah.
To invest.
And when it's more fun, you're more likely to do it.
You're more likely to engage.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Because for so long, investing has been seen as this complicated thing that only rich people do.
That's right.
And that's not true.
Right.
Anyone can invest.
Exactly. You know? So they're really opening it up.
They're democratizing investing.
Yes.
Which is great.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some tips for getting the most out of Simply Wall Street. One tip is to start with a clear understanding of your investment goals and your risk tolerance.
Yeah, that's your foundation.
Why is that?
Well, because your goals and your risk tolerance are going to determine what you invest in, how much risk you take, and your overall time horizon.
It's like building a house.
Yeah.
You got to have a solid foundation.
You got to have a plan.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Another tip is to take advantage of that free trial.
Yes.
Why do you think that's a good idea?
Well, because you can try it before you buy it.
Exactly.
You know, you can...
It's like taking a car for a test drive.
Exactly. Yeah. See if you like it.
Yeah.
See if it fits your needs.
Yeah.
Another tip is to utilize the educational resources that they offer.
Yeah, they have a lot of great resources.
They do. They have a blog, educational articles, that community forum.
The community forum is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to take advantage of those?
Well, because investing is a lifelong journey of learning.
It is.
You know, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
The market's constantly changing, so you got to stay up to date. And Simply Wall Street provides all those resources for you.
And they're free.
Yeah.
And then another tip is to not rely solely on Simply Wall Street for your investment decisions.
It's a tool. It is.
But it's not the only tool.
Right.
You should still do your own research.
Yeah.
And if you need to talk to a financial advisor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about Simply Wall Street today.
Yeah.
Why do you think a tool like this is so important?
Well, I think it's important because there's so much information out there these days. It can be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know who to trust and where to go for good advice.
Yeah.
And I think Simply Wall Street cuts through the noise.
It does.
And it gives you the tools you need.
And make
informed decisions.
Yeah. So it really empowers people to take control of their financial future.
And that's important.
It is.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah, where financial literacy is so low.
Yeah, it's like a financial GPS.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
It can guide you. It guides you to your destination.
We want to be financially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what do you think, listener?
Would you consider using a tool like this?
Would you use Simply Wall Street?
What features stand out to you?
Yeah, what questions do you have?
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, tell us.
Let us know your thoughts.
What do you think?
Head over to our website.
Yeah, our social media pages.
Yeah.
And let's have a conversation.
We'd love to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
So remember, the journey to financial freedom starts with a single step.
It does.
And Simply Wall Street
I'll be that first step.
Might just help you get there.
For you.
So thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're back.
Cool.
And I think one of the things that's really cool about Simply Wall Street is this idea of personalization. It's not just another, financial tool.
Right, it's not cookie cutter.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tailored to you.
Yeah, and it caters to each user's goals and style.
Yeah, I think in the past you had to either be like a hardcore DIY investor or you had to rely on someone else to manage your money.
Which can be expensive.
Which should be very expensive.
Yeah.
So this seems to be like a nice...
Yeah, it bridges that gap.
Yeah, a nice middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you like to do a lot of research.
I do.
Yourself.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say that some of these features...
Oh, for sure.
Would save you time?
Yeah.
Like the curated news feed, tailored to your portfolio?
Absolutely. I mean, time is always a factor.
It is.
Even if you enjoy doing the research, it still takes time.
Exactly.
So having that information just delivered to you.
Right there is in a streamlined way.
Amazing. Yeah.
And imagine you're looking at a stock and they alert you to a news story.
Oh, yeah.
That could impact the company.
That you might have missed otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having your own personal...
Like a watchdog.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And not just for negative news.
Right.
For positive news, too.
Maybe there's something good happening you didn't even know about.
That could make the stock go up.
Exactly.
So what about for listeners who are just starting out?
Yeah.
I mean, think about the peace of mind. This could give you...
Absolutely.
You're not just picking stocks randomly.
Right. You're getting guidance.
They're getting guidance. You've got visuals. You've got
visuals. You've got information coming to you.
Exactly.
Constantly.
Yeah. It's like training wheels for investing.
Yeah.
But you still have control.
Right.
You're
in the driver's seat.
You are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's important.
It is.
To empower people to take control of their finances.
Yes.
Yeah. Rather than just
feeling helpless.
Feeling helpless or just relying on someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what excites me about Simply Wall Street is it's not just about making money.
Right.
It's about making investing more accessible, more understandable, and enjoyable.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a chore.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
And before we go, I wanted to mention the community features again.
Yeah, the community forum.
Community forum, yes.
That's great.
I think it's a really great addition to the platform.
It's a great way to connect with other...
It is, yeah. And learn from other people who are using the platform.
Exactly.
And ask questions. Yeah.
And share your own insights.
Yeah. Get different perspectives.
Yeah, it's like crowdsourcing. Investing knowledge.
It is.
Yeah.
But in a safe
and
supportive environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that
this deep dive into Simply Wall Street has been really
very informative.
Eye-opening.
Yeah.
We've explored a lot of features.
We have.
We've discussed the pros and cons. And we've talked about...
And why it stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, listener?
Yeah, what do you think?
Would you use a tool like this?
Would you use Simply Wall Street?
Yeah.
To help you invest?
What features resonated with you?
Yeah. What are your favorite features?
What questions do you have?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Head over to our
website or social media pages.
Yeah, and let us know.
And share your thoughts.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
We would.
So remember, the journey to financial freedom starts with a single step.
With one step.
And simply, Wall Street might be
the tool.
The tool to help you take that step.
To get you there.
So, thanks for joining us.